Deion Sanders re-emphasized an ongoing theme of his when it comes to the NIL money given recruits. Deion said, don't put the bag ahead of the game. So, Keyshawn, your thoughts on what Deion said?
You know, I agree with Deion 1,000%. You can't make a bad decision based on a number that you think you're going to get in an NIL space. Those numbers aren't real, Skip. I deal in the NIL business.
You do.
It's not real numbers. At the end, we see reported numbers. A kid gets X amount because collective decided to do this or do that. In certain instances, it may make sense. And what I mean by that is if you grew up like I grew up, extremely poor in South Central Los Angeles, an apartment of 900 square foot apartment, 2-bedroom with 10 people living in there, you know, you might want to get a little reward early. So you may choose a certain university back in those days. And that's okay to do that. But nowadays, you may not be such. You want the bigger bag. The bigger bag is picking the right school, the right coaching to get on the field so you can get the real money.
The big bag.
Because the $250,000, $300,000 that you're going to get, you got to pay taxes on that. So that number, you're going to cut that in half, depending on the state.
Well, is that what we're talking about? Because I don't know. It's the Wild Wild West. There's no regulation. There's no reporting on this. When we say Kawhi's got 3 years and $150 million, that's right on.
I'm giving you the reporting.
Okay.
I'm giving it to you raw right now.
So you think the top recruit gets $300,000 or $400,000?
The top recruit could get, let's say, a deal that runs $2.5 million over a 5-year period of time that he's at that university. It's like any other contract. You may start off with getting a couple $100,000, and then as you go, if your play drops off, you think they're gonna still honor that? Think about the kid that is Arizona State quarterback that was supposed to go to Florida and get $18 million. You know how much of that he got? Zero.
Well, and then
so he's in a lawsuit right now.
Yes, he is.
Trying to figure out he had to go to Arizona State. So a bad decision was made to go to Florida because they told you $18 million. They told you $18 million, so you gonna go to Florida. You got nothing. So you transferred out to go to Arizona State for whatever little bit they decide to give you. So you can't make these bad decisions, man. You just can't. Deion's 100% right.
Yeah, I mean, Deion, he wants players that are hungry for the game.
Think of Travis Hunter.
He's old school.
You don't think people was pulling that Travis Hunter? Once he come in Lee Jackson State, man, we got $4 million for you. He said,
No doubt.
I'm good. I'm gonna ride this out. He getting ready to be one of the top 5 picks in the draft.
He will.
Come on.
If not the top one.
If not the top, I just gave him 5 because that's high.
I got you.
I just think Deion is from the old school. He don't want players coming there for the money. He wants players coming there to play who hungry, who motivated. I mean, I feel like with the way the game is going in college and it leads to everything in the NBA, you get a bunch of players that get the bag and is just not motivated to go to take the next step, whether that's in their development or in the NBA, once they get a contract, and you see it on every level. And so I understand what Deion is saying. I mean, he comes from the old school, and I feel the same way, too. When I was coming out of college, I had offers for bags of money, but you know what? I was telling moms, like, yeah, we got $100,000 over here. What we doing? No, we don't need that. We're going to get that later. We're going to get that later. So that kept my motivation and my hunger and my drive. And that's the players Deion want over there. You know, he already got his NLL guys and his son and you know, the guys he already got in their situations. But, nah, if you're recruiting and you want to win, you want them players that's not worried about the money because the money will come if you work. I mean, that's all it is.
No, it is. That's very true. The money will come if you work. And I say it again, in certain instances, I get it. I understand it. But a lot of guys make a lot of bad decisions because they got people around them that's their crew, the hanger-ons. They're going to tell them, man, we can go get this money from Ohio State. I ain't Ohio State doing nothing wrong. I'm just using a name, you know. We can go get this money from USC. Or we can go get this money from whatever you want to call it. And they say, we're going to gap this up. That's how they speak. And in the end, that player doesn't turn out to be nowhere near what he thought he was going to be at that particular university. So now he gets into the portal, and he was a top recruit, Skip. So now everybody else is offering him a transfer.
Yeah.
and they still make a bad decision.
Yeah.
You cannot make these bad decisions when you're
Okay.
chasing money.
I got you. But what Deion is saying, he's not saying you don't deserve the money, because all these kids deserve the money.
Yeah.
When you played for USC, you deserved way more than whatever you got. Way
and
more.
they still owe me.
They owe you. That's the God's truth.
They owe me.
And yet the point is, there are Keishans who come along who blow up their knee and they never make they never get the bag.
Absolutely.
Because they died for the college cause.
Yeah.
You know, like they did it for good old dear old you, right? And I want them all to get as much money as they can. But Deion's trying to say, I need you to have that fire and desire.
Yes,
I don't
that's
need you
it.
to just say, I'm on Easy Street now. And
That's all he wants.
because there's a way bigger bag out there, a more lasting bag out there in pro football, but you're going to have to earn it. And it's hard because you're going to have to stay in school for 3 years to earn it.
Skip,
You know?
I'm not going to name the university, but I took a trip when I was in school, and it's a true story now, that across the country, in the middle of the country, SEC country, I go down,
I know
take
where it
my
was.
trip.
Vanderbilt.
It was Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt. I
take my
do it.
trip.
I do
You
it.
know what? We pay nobody.
And
We got the best education in the world. Go ahead.
At this point, we, like I said, we didn't probably, I don't even know if it's 900 square feet, 2-bedroom apartment, about 10 people in there. I take my trip, and my mother, all I can think about is my mother. And God, she gonna get to the game. So I'm telling the coach, I say to the coach, before our exit meeting, I tell her, I say, man, I wanna come, but I don't know about my mother. And I don't know about how she gonna be able to come to the game. So true story, man. If I'm lying, I'm dying right now. Dude picks out, boom, pick up the briefcase, open up the briefcase, and I ain't never seen that much cash in a briefcase in my life. Said, you don't have to worry about that. We got this. Turn around, boom, bam, boom. You don't have to worry about that. And we gonna get her a job. And I said, okay, I'm committing. I committed. Committed. But by the time I got on the flight to come all the way back, I said to myself, it's too far. It's Easy Street. And I don't know if I would have went there, if I'd have been the #1 pick in the draft.
Okay.
So you make certain decisions, it can go south on you. Quick, Skip.
You made a good one.
I made a damn good one. That bag was nice, though, now that I think about it, though.
How old was you? How old was you?
Yeah.
I was
18?
19 years old.
Which school was it?
Ah, man,
What
stop
school
it, man.
was
You
it?
ain't gonna get me. I ain't gonna do him like that. I ain't gonna do him like that.
Oh, it's okay
Up
now.
next,
I said the
Sauce
SEC, that's all you need to
says
know.
Golf is
40
harder
years
than
ago.
football. True?
I don't want to do you like that.
I was 40 years